Welcome to a brand new episode of Soul Reboot on the road. I am your host, Shaman and Mystic Alyson Charles, and I know you're used to me being in the studio in LA, but today I'm in New York City, and I'm so blessed and excited to be chatting with people that are very near and dear to my heart. I was so blessed to be able to share sacred space with them and to learn from them. They have both dedicated their lives and taken sacred oaths to be Maracame, which translates to master shamans. So they travel the world, blessing everyone they meet with their open hearts, their big power, their vulnerability, integrity, all my favorite things in the world. So please say hello to Vivien, Vilela, and Oscar Matzuwa. You guys know how much I love you, and I was just so blessed to share sacred space with you guys. And so I just want to take a moment on camera to thank you both again. You blew my mind. I told you that weekend how much, it moved me. It was really one of, if not the most transformational weekends of my life. So thank you both for doing the work that you do. And I wanted to find out more about your journey. Vivien, I know that you come from Brazil and you used to model, right? So I'm curious for you, because for me on my journey, I had a divine intervention and a huge awakening moment, like a one moment that changed everything for me. So I was curious for you if that was the same or if it was more of a gradual progression.
Well, when I was little, I was very connected and I had a few experiences which made me really scared and made me shut myself off from spirituality. And then again, it happened again when I was 18 years old in a really haunted house, and I wanted nothing to do with that. But then later, during my Saturn return, I just started to feel really this kind of unfulfilled. I was modeling, I was very successful, I was making a lot of money, I had a lot of friends. I had everything which in the books is considered successful.
Right.
Yet I was always looking for outside things to fill in the gap that I had inside.
Oh, I know that feeling.
And so I spent my birthday, my 28th birthday at home crying. And I was like, where's my life going? And it was really that search for meaning. And then, of course, as magical as the universe is, it brought all the people and all the situations into my life.
And so, Oscar, I know that you come from Mexico and the Wirikuta people, correct? And I read a couple of translations. I heard that means people from the tradition or people of the shore. Are either one of those correct?
Yeah, people who respect the tradition.
Okay. So as the people and the tribe that you come from, is it a tribe? Is it okay? Or
Yeah.
a tribe? The tribe that you come from, with it being people who respect tradition and that being in the blood and bones of who you are, did you grow up just always immersing in spiritual practices and healing work like from a little boy, or was it something that you got into at an older age?
For my parents, my mom's side is from the Mayoreme people. My dad is a mestizo, and then both when I born, they already was in the spirituality, and they showed me how to work with plants, with the spirit of the plants. And then when I was a boy, we was in the community with my grandma live. It's over there. Always there was the dances, the deer dance, the people over there. It was very interesting. My parents they don't want to. We go so much there because they was thinking that was not good, no?
Oh, really?
But we was very interesting in that, no? When I start to grow, I go to the university. I study anthropology in Mexico City, and then over there I start to connect more with other tribes, and I start to really honoring the path of our people, our ancestors, and I start to go more into the traditions.
And so you both walked your own individual paths, aligning more and more with your gifts and the universe and earth and everything. And then you two finally clicked together. I'm not going to get too much into that voyage, but it's quite a story. But once you guys did get together, did you know right away, instantly, that you would also work together?
basically we met the first year and it was like a brief interaction, but then the following year we met again at this plant medicine festival in Brazil. And during an ayahuasca ceremony, the medicine showed me that he was my life partner, that we had a mission to work in this lifetime together, and I would be with him for the rest of my days. And a week later, we broke up. And it took a few years until we really got together, but I knew from the moment, from that moment on.
Yeah, yeah. And what about you? When did you know?
Yeah, we met the first time. When I saw her, I saw like somebody from my family. I recognized her. Said she looks familiar to me, you know, like. And okay, I was in that.
And she's beautiful.
Yeah, she's beautiful. Yeah.
And now you both have taken different oaths, and I know that there is one tradition specifically that you've both taken a sacred oath with. Can you share a little bit about that tradition and what that oath is like?
Since I start to go more into the traditions, I start to work with a lot of elders, Maracames especially, and then I start to go with them to do the sacred pilgrimage in the Wirikuta Desert.
And that's in Mexico.
It's in Mexico, in San Luis Potosí, Zacatecas. And then I start going every year. Now I have 16 years going every year to but when they told me, okay, this is very serious. If you want to really learn, you want to learn here. If you are single, you cannot be with, you cannot touch a woman for 5 years. They say, oh, this is, sounds...
Let me meditate on
yeah,
that.
yeah. And they say, okay. And I said, I'm not ready then. But you say, but if you get married, you can respect the times, and then you just only be with your wife. I said, okay. Then
That was a better idea.
Yeah. Then I wait for that. I was going every year, but I was waiting for prepare more myself for this kind of commitment, because it's very serious. No?
Yeah.
If you don't respect that, you also can die or get very sick. And that's why I say, okay, now this time I just use for prepare myself to learn more about the tradition, the music, and all these things.
This particular tradition that you've both taken the oath, what is the name of the tradition?
Wirikuta.
Yes, which I cannot say myself, but you say it beautifully. So what, if you can just give people a quick example or two of a practice or a ritual or ceremony that you can share that is from this tradition.
So we are not Maracames yet. What he was saying, that to take the oath as a Maracame, one is to be single, and to really become a Maracame, the minimum time is 12 years. In 5, the ones that are really lucky, that bring it, that come marked, they say, become in 5 years, but truly 12, they say it takes. And these people are some of the most magical people. The Maracames, they are the ones that have the ability to suck disease out of the body. And many of them spit out rocks, animals, different things. It's truly incredible wisdom. And for me, the most beautiful practice in this culture that I love the most and that I see that truly transforms people's lives is the fire confession.
Oh,
so in this,
I feel that.
the fire purification, which is, they say that the only true shaman in this universe is the fire, because it's the one that contains the most ancient spirit on this planet, and the ones that contain the whole knowledge of the universe. And so they put us all around the fire, and they tell us to confess everything we didn't do right in our lives, everything, every person we ever slept with, every sexual partner, because we carry the energies of those people, and that delays our lives. So once we put all of those things in the fire and we ask the fire to transmute them, instantly it's like taking a really heavy backpack we've been carrying on our backs of accumulation of energies throughout our entire lives, of trauma and stagnant energy, and just having the opportunity to empty it out there.
Yeah. Before we move on, I want to go back to the Wirikuta Desert and all your time pilgrimaging there. Is there really interesting or powerful story that you're willing to share, an experience that you had out in the desert that was just really pretty awakening or mind-blowing?
When we go to Wirikuta, we go to search for a vision. The vision we call Nyerika. And Nyerika is a power the Great Spirit gave to you can use for heal people, for sing, for your project, for use in your life, in your work. And yeah, I had beautiful visions when all the universe open and I can see clear how is the universe is. Yeah, vision how the sun's born.
Oh, wow.
Like this kind of vision is what this spirit gave you, and also it's a communion with the sacred plant, the one we use for many thousands of years. Our people from Mexico, North America, we call hikuri. But it's a cactus that people know like peyote. But this is our sacred and master plant we use for all these kind of works, for heal ourselves, for learn. It's our teacher, it's our master. Find this spirit and see this spirit is the most beautiful I experiment.
So I want to know from the two of you, with all of the time that you spend together, traveling, healing people, all the work that you do, what has been the greatest lesson that each other has taught the other one?
Oscar he's so humble, and he is so, everybody loves Oscar. You know, like
teddy bear, the bear,
he's
right?
a teddy bear, and he's just so devoted. Oscar taught me to make offerings because in the Amazon they don't have this practice of offerings. So he really taught me to give more and to honor everything I receive, which were different teachings from what I had from all of my teachers in the Amazon, and in that way to truly develop that relationship of always giving back for everything I receive from spirit and from nature, and for that I'll always be grateful for. And obviously is my deepest mirror to myself, no? And taught me to see more of myself as well.
So nice. Thank you for sharing that. And now it's your turn.
Yeah, for me, Vivien helped me a lot and showed me the path to open my heart, because and also in trust, in love, because before her I was a little bit confused in that, and she helped me a lot in that. Also, a lot of work inside helped me to see that. No? And yeah, and was in Amazon. Also was in Benki's community. We was there drinking ayahuasca. She was for 3 months every day. I was just 1 month every night. And yeah, over there I saw that how my heart opened, and in the vision I saw a flower, and that flower was her, no, that was born in my heart, and yeah, and give me again the trust in love and trust in relationship, and yeah.
So a quick question that I have, what's something that you think that the world just really needs right now? Just a quick download of whatever drops in.
Is what we need: a union and respect for Mother Earth, and really transform quickly all the ways we're doing of the pollution. We need to transform that very quickly and do like a general conscience, everyone in the same path to really save our Earth.
Yeah. For me, it's all that what he said, obviously, and it's to take responsibility. You know, we are in a world today that we just spend life blaming everything around us for what's happening, when it's actually we're all part of it. We're all part of this destruction And so if we can take responsibility for our own trash, for our own consumption, and also for our own relations with other people. You know, if we can take responsibility for why we get nervous at certain people, why of the environment around us, if we can take responsibility for our own emotions and not blame other people for them, and also actively be the change that we want to see in the world, then we can definitely create the world we're looking for. No?
Yeah. Something that's always been really important to me is finding more and more ways that I can give back to indigenous cultures and traditions that in the past have been really oppressed or really mistreated. So what's some advice that you can give to people that want to honor or help indigenous cultures? How can we best do that?
There are a lot of beautiful projects being done to recover culture. You know, we're doing an amazing project. We're raising money for at Aniwa for a cultural center for Native Americans. But to have their own people teaching them of their own sacred practices which they have lost. So grandmothers, embodied grandmothers, who are truly living in love, teaching their youths, you know, to connect back to their sacred practices, to quilt, to eat their ancient foods. And I think truly, the best way truly is finding organizations that are aligned and that are spearheading projects that will create sustainable change, empowering indigenous cultures. It's not giving them money directly because that creates also a lot of inequality, but supporting projects that really have the power to change the basis of the entire community. You know, in giving them tools to then not depend on charity, but empowering them to do something also for themselves.
And it's more inward work for them, right?
Absolutely. And also there are a lot of opportunities that you can go down there and volunteer, you know, and help or teach English or, you know, if it's something more personal that you feel like doing for a personal connection, then there are a lot of also opportunities. At Aniwa, you'll meet so many of them that can tell you what they need.
Yeah. Well, while we're on Aniwa, let's just share with everyone. It's a gathering you do once a year, and I'm so blessed to be attending this year. So just let everyone know there's indigenous leaders and elders coming from 30 or 40 different traditions around the world, and just sharing in 5 days of sacred practices and teachings and rituals. What else can people know about Aniwa?
Aniwa is the most life-changing experience and actually most powerful initiation I've ever had in my life.
Really?
Out of all initiations from different indigenous cultures, Aniwa, the first Aniwa for me, transformed my life like nothing else. It was the only thing that actually shook me to my core that I've ever done. And it's really powerful to have like some of, you know, the most powerful indigenous masters of the world all gathered together in one place. They opened the gathering singing all together in all their ancient languages. Ooh. And at that moment, they open a portal. So they invite all of their spirit guides to come and work on the people for the course of the 4.5 days that we're going to be there. And so it's 40 leaders in 22 different tribes. So it's like going to all of these communities and stepping into their ways and coming to their ceremonies, which are absolutely transformational.
It's not a normal occasion to be in one space with all of these incredible people. So I am so much looking forward to it. And I'll be sure to put all the links and information on how people can join us on my website. So before we wrap, I would just love for you guys to share, how can people unite with you, work with you, help your causes? How can they find you?
Well, through Aniwa. We are also doing an amazing project in our teachers' communities in Mexico. We have a project for the preservation of peyote. We are raising money to buy land in Wirikuta Desert to protect this amazing sacred place that is under great threat. So people can donate via the Aniwa website, and they can also contact us. Our contact details are there. info@aniwa.co. And Yeah, or come to Aniwa.
Well, I wish I could have this be a 3-hour long interview. Such a special, special time. Thank you all so much for joining us. For all the information on their causes and joining us at Aniwa, please go to AlysonCharles.com or RockstarShaman.com. And until next time, sending so much love, light, and blessings your way.